starts composing. The fields and trees, they start rejoicing. And now it's rising from the ground. Now it's rising from the ground. Hear us crying out. Hear us crying out. Holy, 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 holy Lord. The earth is yours and holy, 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 holy Lord. The earth is yours and sings the earth sings holy, 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 holy Lord. The earth is yours. The earth is yours. The earth is Draw me again into the center of your love, where I began. I know that you are still enough, Lord. You restore all the desires of my heart, just like before. When I discovered who you are, I need you more. I need you more than ever. I need you more. Jesus, I need you more. I will abide, be still and know that you are God, for you are mine. And in your presence I'm alive, here in this place. Within your shadow I am safe, every mistake fading into the light of grace. I need you more. I need you more than ever. I need you more. Jesus, I need you more. I need you more. I need you more than ever. I need you more. Jesus, I need you more. Oh yes, I need you more. Be my heart's obsession, first and only in my life. In your love alone, my soul is satisfied. Be my heart's obsession, first and only in my life. In your love alone, my soul is satisfied. conquered death and paid the highest cost. You died so I could live. You washed away my sin. Now I can see you. Now I can know you. Now my heart has a song to sing. Jesus, I love you. Oh, how I love you. You have my heart, my everything, my everything. The stone was rolled away. You took the keys and conquered hell and grave. Now death has lost its sting. It has no hold on me. Now I can see you. Now I can know you. Now my heart has a song to sing. Jesus, I love you. Oh, how I love you. You have my heart, my everything, my everything.
Well, good evening. Wonderful, wonderful. Glad to see you here this evening. You are in for a treat. We are going to try to get some of our wonderful admirers of art in the room who are looking at all the wonderful pieces out there, and there'll be plenty of time to do that. I want to tell you kind of how the evening is going. Actually, let me introduce myself if I haven't gotten to meet you. My name is Cody McQueen. I'm the lead pastor here at Christ Chapel. It's a wonderful privilege that I have to be a part of a great church family, and I'm so glad that you chose to be with us this evening. It's going to be a treat. So what we're going to do this evening is this is the album release for the CCM department. So our contemporary team, they came together about a year ago, and they started writing original songs on the Psalms. So they were writing them on the Psalms. They were taking a different psalm. They would collaborate together, write a piece. They ended up writing about 18 songs. They're not going to play all 18 for you tonight. Okay, so they're not all of those 18, yeah. But they're going to play 5 of those songs. Those are on the album that we're releasing. It's called Lift My Eyes. And so that's what they're going to do. They're going to go through those 5 songs. They're going to tell you a little bit. Have you ever seen VH1 Behind the Music? Okay, that without all the raunchy stuff, okay? They're going to tell you about how they came up with the songs, how they wrote it together, and then they're actually going to perform it for you. These are incredible songs, super worshipful. They did a portion of this at our staff meeting on Tuesday. Everybody was blown away, and I think you will be as well. But they want to be sure that certainly God gets all the credit tonight. These guys have done a wonderful job, and gals have done a wonderful job of working together, collaborating, seeking the Lord's heart together, and trying to get that on paper and out through these instruments and through these microphones. And I think you'll sense that as you listen to them tonight. So they're going to do that through the first portion. Then we're going to take a short intermission. At the intermission, obviously, you can go out and look at the art. There's some snacks and things. And then we're going to come back in, and it's just worship. It's just worship. That's all we're going to do is sing worship songs that you're used to singing on Sunday mornings. And then the last piece, we're going to incorporate some traditional elements, which I think are going to be surprising to you, but I think be a lot of fun. I think you're going to enjoy it. So it's going to be a great evening, and I was told to talk till 6:35, and the red clock says it's 6:35. So team, I am killing enough time. If you can hear my voice behind the stage, it is time for you to come out because I don't have enough dancing moves. Here they come. Give them a round of applause.
Welcome, everybody. How are you guys doing? All right, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. That was just a start. You guys doing well? Man, we're really excited for tonight. I'm really excited. This has been, it's been kind of I don't know, I guess 7-8 month process of just watching the Lord put this on our heart, kind of challenge all of us as a group to work together and come up with something that would be a blessing to our church, that would be a blessing for our teams to lead. And here we are. So what I'm going to do, first of all, my name is Casey Taylor. I lead at Converge. That's where you would have seen me on the other end of this building in a nice little nook we like to call the chapel. So that's where I lead from week to week. And so I'm going to go by and have these gentlemen introduce themselves, and then we're going to get going. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. You guys ready? All right, we'll see. All right, so first of all, we'll just make our way down the line. Tell us who you are and where they would have seen you lead.
My name is Austin, and I lead in here in the sanctuary on Sundays.
My name is Drew, and I lead out at the West Campus on Sundays.
And I'm Jeff McIntosh and lead at the South Campus on Sundays, specifically.
My name is George, and I lead in the Den in our high school ministry on Sundays, and occasionally at West Campus on HSM on Wednesdays.
All right, so George
We need
is...
someone with blonde hair in this
We
row.
do. We all look exactly the same.
This is a problem.
My wife told me that. She goes, you guys all look exactly the same. One of you should shave your beard.
Except George, because George can't grow a beard.
Yeah, George is... But he does lead student ministries, so that makes sense.
That.
Just wait a few years. He'll get some poking through. Okay, so anyway, yeah. But really and truly, like, our hope for tonight, we don't fancy ourselves to be rock stars. We just fancy ourselves as a group full of musicians and leaders who really, really care about Jesus and really care that you love Jesus and know that you are loved by Jesus. And so these songs and this record is really meant to be an encouragement to your worship experience, both at your house and in our services. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask each person about a song that they wrote, that they kind of spearheaded, and then they're going to share a little bit about the writing process and how the song came about. So we're going to start off with the man who usually occupies this room and fills it with his glory, Austin Tullis. So Austin, first of all, talk to us a little bit about the song, where it came from, what the name of the song is, and then we'll get to hear it.
Yeah, it's called You Are Good, and it's based out of Psalm 30. And if you are a fan of the Enneagram, and you know anything about it.
Should we do a show of hands? Enneagram? No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that.
Enneagram? Yeah, no. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But I identify with this number 7, and which is kind of the fun guy. And there's many strengths of the 7, mind you, many strengths. And a few key weaknesses. One of them being I avoid pain and hurt at all costs and run from it. And so as I'm like kind of discovering these things about myself, last year I'm reading through Psalm 30, and it talks a lot about pain and about hurt, but more it talks about how God takes your mourning and he turns it into dancing, and how his joy is new in every morning, M-O-R, and it's this idea that it's okay, that the pain is okay, and that hurt is okay, and that it's just part of life, and that it's coming at us. Like full steam ahead, it's coming at us, and the point isn't to avoid it, and the point isn't to stiff arm it. The point is to know that we are loved by a God who can turn it into goodness. And even if it's not in this life, it's in the next. And it doesn't always look the way that I want it to look, but it is good. And so it's just that idea that it's this like big picture thing that I don't need to avoid it. I don't need to try to sidestep it, but I can go into it and know it's coming at me, knowing that my Father is a good Father who has good gifts for me in the end. So,
I love it, man. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, it's, you guys can clap. Absolutely.
so I wrote the chorus, and then I brought it to Casey, and we finished it together.
Yeah,
so.
It was awesome. Why don't you get ready to play it for us? So what he just mentioned was something that I want to play off a little bit. Austin is known to me as the chorus guy, because we've written a couple of songs together, and both of them, well, the first one was Free Indeed, the song that Marcus came out and led with our team at the very beginning. That was a song that he brought to all of us, and I think Drew, Richard, and myself, we got a chance to write him with, I think at the West Campus, product of writing at the West Campus. But anyway, and then this song was also a song, he goes, hey, I got this chorus. And I was like, well, that worked out last time, so let's hear it. And so it was great. So we had a good time writing together, and we're excited for you guys to hear it. So here it goes. This is You Are Good. This is out of Psalm 30.
You lift me up, my enemies won't overcome. To you I cry through darkness and night. You have become my light. Let praises come for who you are and what you've done. Come all you saints and lift up his name, who brings us to life again. I know joy comes in the morning, turn my sadness into something new. Oh, I know that you are working all things for my good. In all things you are good. Oh, you're good. From morning to my tears of joy you bring me through. With gladness I will sing to the Lord and praise you forevermore. Hey, I know joy comes in the morning, turn my sadness into something new. Oh, I know that you are working all things for my good. In all things you are good. Oh, you're good. Oh, you're good. Through the fire we will be refined. Through the darkness we will see the light. Though we walk through the valleys, you walk beside us. You see us through to the other side. Through the fire we will be refined. Through the darkness we will see the light. Though we walk through the valleys, you walk beside us. You see us through to the other side. You see us through to the other side. I know joy comes in the morning, turn my sadness into something new. Oh, I know that you are working all things for my good. Hey, I know joy comes in the morning, turn my sadness into something new. Oh, I know that you are working all things for my good. In all things you are good. Oh, you're good. Yes, oh, you're good. Oh, you're good.
I love it. I almost got up and started dancing. No joke. And it's okay if you guys want to get up and dance. You don't have to, but you don't not have to. So anyway, yeah, we were talking a second ago just about kind of the season that we've been in. And man, I think we wrote 20 songs, knowing that this was going to be a 5-song EP. We wrote a whole bunch of songs, but we wrote 20 and we had to narrow it down to 5, which was a pretty hard process. We had a lot of writers, Brett Musselwhite, who a lot of you guys will know, Mitchell Travis. We had a lot of other people writing together, but it's been a really amazing process. It's a lot of humility, working with other people, collaborating. So Drew, talk to us a little bit about the process, the writing process for you, how that goes for you, and then tell us a little bit about the song that you're going to share with us.
Yeah, I'd love to. So the writing process for me usually starts alone. It's always kind of a very vulnerable state to be in because you kind of come empty-handed. and you're just asking the Lord for some creativity and some inspiration to be able to write from. And I write a lot from piano, and a lot of that times is you just kind of sit there and you just wait and you be patient and you ask the Lord to give you something. And thankfully, I have a 2.5-year-old little something that inspires me all the time. And he went through this phase a couple of months ago where he would say, I want to see more. I want to see more. And whatever he was kind of into, or if I would point out, we have a lot of deer that'll come up in our backyard. And anytime I would point those out to him, he would say, see more? I want to see more. And of course, the Lord was just hammering that into my mind over and over of, man, how much more so should I be asking to see more of the Lord in my daily life? And so that was several months ago, I think actually even before we had been asked to start writing from the Psalms. And so I just had that one little phrase, I want to see more, and we've just kind of been sitting on it. And then, of course, for me, the writing process is usually a journey. It doesn't happen, overnight, but happens over several weeks and months. And they had asked us to start writing from the Psalms, and so I had been talking to our campus pastor, Matt Lance, and he and I had just been talking a lot about the idea of remembrance and how much remembering, the promises of the Lord and remembering the faithfulness of the Lord in our lives. And so I just started skimming the Psalms, and of course there's a fullness of ideas in the Psalms. And so I stumbled across Psalm 77. I'm going to read a portion of it for you guys. It says, I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your wonders of old. I will ponder all your work and meditate on your mighty deeds. Your way, O God, is holy. What God is great like our God? You are the God who works wonders. You have made known your might among the peoples. With your arm redeemed your people and the children of Jacob and Joseph. And so I just kind of sat on that scripture and kind of had a pre-chorus idea, and I took it actually to Brett. Brett and I started working on the chorus together, and I kind of had a melody idea after that for a verse. And I remember, Casey, you stepped in with us at that point, and I kind of remember there was the third line in the verse. You guys will see it, that first verse that Casey came up with pretty quickly, and it was just kind of like the bow on top of the song, and it all just kind of came together pretty quickly at that point. It was a lot of fun.
It was. Would you guys like to hear it? Okay. Well, they're going to make their way over. And, man, one of the things that's really fun about this process is that, I mentioned that it takes a lot of humility to do this. But we write songs, and ultimately our goal is not to feature or to be out in front and be important and made much of with these recordings. And so, we're going to see a couple of times the writers aren't necessarily the performers. So we're just trying to find the right voice, the right feel. And so this next song is going to be led by Jessica. And this is, again, a song Drew wrote. So we're excited to share it with you guys, and we really hope that you like it.
Over and over I'm crying out. I know that you hear, though I'm filled with doubt. When I am restless and find my heart in
I love it, guys. I love it. So some of you guys, have you heard that one before? Right, in our services, right? You guys have heard a few of our gals lead that song. So it's already been a song that's kind of been special to us. So the next guy to my right, his name is Jeffrey. It's actually not Jeffrey, it's Jeff. It's Jeffrey. It is Jeffrey. I didn't lie to you the first time. The second time I did lie to you, telling you that it wasn't Jeffrey. So first of all, Jeff is what you would call a DTS resident here, right?
That's right.
What is DTS?
There we go.
There we go.
That's one of the other three guys. So there's four of us.
That like DTS or that go to DTS?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone. DTS person. What's it like? It's great. So I am a full-time student at DTS.
Should you be studying or writing a paper right now?
Probably.
Why are you here?
Because this is more important for the time being.
I hope somebody from DTS hears this.
People keep telling me grades don't matter, but I'm trying to maintain a good GPA, but have to be here. It's good to be here.
I love it, man. Okay, so man, Jeff's been a real joy. Jeff leads the South Campus. Jeff has been doing a lot of stuff. You would have seen him in here. You've seen him all over the place. But Jeff and Whitney are a great couple. We're really glad that you guys are here. But
Glad to be here.
This next song you wrote with, tell us who you wrote it with. Tell us a little bit about it, where it came from. He wrote it with somebody very special to my heart, and he'll explain.
Yes, likewise. So I wrote this song with Richard Schaefer, who is playing drums tonight.
Yep, back there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, if you know Richard, you love him. That's why everyone claps. Yeah, he's an amazing guy. So Richard and I were paired one day when we were kind of pairing off to write, and we sat down together, and we didn't really know each other actually at that point. And both of us, he said, hey, what psalm do you want to write on? And both of us, the only one that we really were thinking, man, I really want to write a song on this was Psalm 42.
Did you guys say 1, 2, 3, say your psalm?
Yes, we did.
1, 2, 3.
Psalm 42. That's what we did. But no, so we sat down and we started writing, and I thought it was just great that both of us wanted to write on it. But if you know Psalm 42, you know it's not particularly a happy psalm. It's a psalm of lament, but there's also hope within the lament. And so for me personally, when we started writing the song and going back probably 9 to 12 months, was just in a season where I was really battling some severe depression. And so it's a very weird thing to lead worship and to simultaneously be fighting for hope and fighting for joy in the midst of that. And so for me, that psalm had been a great, just a psalm of hope for me in a really hard season. And so it just kind of flowed out onto the page. Honestly, it didn't take very long for us to get a solid chorus where David in the psalm, he actually says, why are you downcast, my soul? And why are you in turmoil within me? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him. And so David is preaching to his own soul in the psalm, which is just amazing. And there are moments in the Christian life, in our walk with Christ, where that's all we have. I remember Richard saying, sometimes that's all we have is just to say, okay, I will hope in you, I will trust in you. And so that's where we found ourselves, and out came the song.
I love it. I love it, man. Thank you for sharing. If you know Richard, he's a man of a few words a lot of times, but when he speaks, it's oftentimes pretty profound. So I'm glad that you guys collaborated. So why don't you guys get ready? Drew, as we mentioned earlier, the whole collaborating process, he's going to sing this one for us. Jeff's going to play for us. But what I thought would be a really cool opportunity right in this moment. So a lot of people like to kind of know what happens and how it all happens. And so I brought some pictures. So the graphics communications team does a really great job taking phenomenal pictures. And I thought, let's not use those. Let me use my iPhone and take some action shots. And so what I did was I asked for our graphics team to show you some of those. So let's walk through. So this is in our studio here at the church, which the Lord has been gracious enough to allow us to be able to do things like this. This is Drew standing there. I promise you he's about to sing. He looks bored. He's really excited. So then let's go to the next one. That's me creeping on Drew while he tries to get actual work done. And I'm just there for the Instagram. So anyway, so that's Jess. And so if you look, you can kind of see where the control room is. There's 2 double panes of glass. And on the other side of that, there's a bunch of knobs and buttons that I don't understand. that people who do understand know how to twist and turn and fade all the right things. And so Jess is in there about to lay down the song that we just heard. There's Richard. He may be on a theology website arguing with other people about hermeneutics and stuff. So he loves to do that. Not really. And then this is Emily Hill, Drew's beautiful wife, and she is getting ready to sing. And in the background, if you'll notice, because this is Art Reach, I feel like we should draw attention to our attempt at art, which looks like we have made an example of a piano on the wall for all the other pianos to see. We've hung it up on the wall, but I promise it's an art installation. It's meant to be there. It's not in trouble. And then I think maybe we have one more. And then this is Jeff faking. So that microphone is not plugged in. That is Jeff responding in momentary spontaneous praise and worship of Lord Jesus. While I think, is that George in the background? He's about to sing. So anyway, we just thought it would be a good opportunity for you guys to get to see a little bit about what goes on, whenever we're all in the muck and the mire of it. But we're excited to share this song with you guys. So let's hear it, guys.
Hear the cry of my weary soul, broken and poured out in search of hope. As I wait for you to draw me close, I lift my eyes to you. Oh, my spirit feels overrun, from the rising to the setting sun. And as I wait for your help to come, I lift my soul to you. And oh, my soul, don't be cast down and don't lose hope, for even now to praise him is enough. Oh, saving God of love, oh God, my God, you lift me up. As a deer pants for streams that flow, so thirsts my soul for you alone. And as I wait for you to make me whole, I lift my heart to you. And oh, my soul, don't be cast down and don't lose hope, for even now to praise him is enough. Oh, saving God of love.
Oh, saving God of love, oh God, my God, you lift me up. Oh God, my God, you lift me up.
Man, I love celebrating these songs and these leaders. I need you guys to do something for me. Remember whose song was who. Not necessarily who leads. We talked about how that wasn't important, but we need you guys to remember who leads so that if you can't read the handwriting on the songs, you know who to blame and who to write an email about. Because those are all our individual handwritings. So if it's really illegible, we just need you guys to remember that. Anyway, so moving forward, the guy to my right, as we mentioned a second ago, is George Hornock. George leads all through the student ministries, leads all over. He's led for a lot of different places. But immediately, he is our student worship pastor, which is really exciting. So let me ask you a question. How has been leading students here so far been for you?
Man, it's been awesome, and I want to tell you why. Because one of my favorite parts about students, and one of the unique part about students, is that I get to specifically speak into their development as both as people, but also as musicians and leaders. And so one of the cool parts about my job is that I get to put them on a platform, and I get to help them and say, hey, you know, you have a gift here, you need to lead out here. And then I get to watch them do something that I love and feel so passionately about. And I get to watch and see how the Lord uses them both in their lives, but also in the people that they're leading their lives as well. And that's just, it's such a fulfilling and like special like opportunity. And so I love it.
To clarify, what he means is that George leads, but he does not always sing lead. So he leads his team of students to lead the other students, which is a huge task because we've got a killer band. And sometimes these people have been doing it for a long time, but students, like, you really do have a lot of training, you have a lot of work. So, man, it's a huge ask, but it's also really, really awesome. And I know from leading students in the past, I used to do student ministry and lead worship for students, that it's a heavy time, man. There's a lot of things in the lives of these students that you really have to kind of bear. And because of the volume of students, especially at a church like ours, we've been blessed with a lot of influence and a lot of students. You have a lot of that weight. So in light of that, this next song, which is one of my favorite songs through the whole process, this was a song from a while back, and I've loved the song for a long time, but it's a heavy song. It comes from a heavy place. So why don't you share a little bit about the song, how it came about, but just your heart behind it too.
Yeah, so this song actually came about, almost 8 months ago. I mean, we're coming around that time. And so it came about really organically. Jeff, Brett, and then me, and then I think you came in a little bit later on the song. It came about really organically. And I want to read the psalm, or a portion of the psalm, because I think that if I could anchor this song in scripture in 2 verses, this is what it would be. It would be, Israel, put your hope in the Lord, for there is faithful love with the Lord, and with him is redemption in abundance, and he will redeem Israel for all its iniquities. And so when we started writing this song, this line came to us, and it was just this simple line of, I will wait for you. And so as we begin kind of studying this psalm, we just kind of started going, okay, what does that mean? What are we waiting for? What was Israel waiting for? And in a way, at that point, they were waiting for the Messiah, and now the Messiah has come, and so now we're in a season as the church waiting for the return of our Savior, Jesus. And so for me personally, this was actually not my favorite song for a long time.
Yeah, talk to us about that. You mentioned that to me the other day about how this song kind of had to grow on you, but kind of talk me through where the song developed in your heart.
Yeah, so we ended up writing it, and I did the demo for it, and we put it in the Dropbox, and just kind of forgot about it. And it was there for a couple of months, and then it was time to kind of really lean into the writing process again. We did all that, and then it came about to choosing songs. We were supposed to choose 5 songs. Hey, these are the songs that I think should go on this record. And I remember listening through them all and hearing that one and just going, nah. And we get through, and we kept getting feedback of like, hey, this song is great, we should do this song. And I kept wondering, why? Like, why are we doing this song? Like, I don't see it. And then I was asked to sing on it, and I was like, okay, this is like a kind of a challenge because I don't get this. Like, this is gonna be hard for me to like get into this. And I remember it was back in January, very beginning, and I was sitting at the piano in kind of the other part of the building, and I was playing through this song, and I was about to go in and do the final vocal on it. And still was kind of wrestling with it. And I remember this moment. It was a season where, a lot of students in kind of our ministry, like I knew were having a really hard time, and there was a lot of heaviness there. And then two, it was a season where my wife and I were actually coming out of a season of a lot of heaviness in our own lives. And it was kind of like this moment of, I was playing through this, man, and I was realizing, this is my story. This is our story. Like, we are the people who call out for mercy and are so low, and we are a people who are waiting for God until he brings back Jesus. And so you'll hear it in the song, but the song just progresses. And every time we sing that chorus, there's kind of two favorite lines that I have. One of them is, I'll wait for you till the morning, MOURNING, is done. And then I'll wait for you till the morning comes. And that's kind of the catch line. And then there's another line in the bridge, or in kind of the third section of the song, that says, your promise is worth the waiting. And everything changes every time you sing that, I'll wait for you, after verse 1, after the second verse, and then after that bridge section. Every time the meaning of that chorus changes. And it's our story of finding hope even in the darkest of places, even in the hardest of places. And so I just remember going into the studio and just going, man, God, you have given me such a new meaning behind this song. And this song is hopeful, and it's good, and it's encouraging. And I don't know.
Well, man, we're going to hear it. Would you play it for us? Yeah. All right, let's do it. So I had something planned, but I think I don't want to do that. I'm just going to let you guys hear this song. So we'll get to that here in just a second. But, man, one of the things that really is special about writing music, for those who don't write music, and for those who express in many ways, this week is an Art Reach weekend. That's what we're here to celebrate, is art. But you know that the opportunity to express yourself in some form or fashion, in some medium, is really important for sort of coping and dealing with things. And I think especially in light of who God is, we have this opportunity together as a church to use songs like this to sort of collectively exhale and express an emotion we all can relate to. So let's hear this song together.
Depths I cry for mercy. I cannot stand before you. My sin and shame exposed before you. You're my only hope to be restored. But with you there is forgiveness. For will choose to sing, even as I wait to see your promise is worth the waiting. So I will choose to sing, even as I wait to see your promise is worth the waiting. So I will choose to sing, I will choose to sing. I will wait for you, I will wait for you till the morning's done. I will wait for you, oh God, I will wait for you till the morning comes. I will wait for you, yes I will wait for you till the morning's done. I will wait for you, I will wait for you till the morning comes. Your promise is worth the waiting. So I will choose to sing, even as I wait to see.
It's so great. I want to take a second and just thank the band. We all are just sitting here enjoying it. That's Kyle over there on the keys. Kyle, Davis, repping the hat. Thea, lovely, the cello. Richard, our music director and drummer. Chike, slapping the bass. Trevor, shredding. And then the Coiners, Michael and Jessica Coiner. So wonderful. So it's my turn. Casey's gonna sing his song,
Yeah.
so I get to interview you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Switch chairs.
If you were trapped on a desert island, and you could have the choice between one
Coffee.
person, wait, one person, would you choose A, Dr. Cody McQueen, or B, Dr. Bill Egner?
I feel like Bill might be able to build us a way to get off that island. So, I mean, for kicks, probably Cody, but if I wanted to get
For
off the island, but if I wanted to get off the island, I might ask Bill.
I'm taking neither. I'm taking Rob, the sound guy.
That is a sound decision.
We would survive and then some. So,
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so.
Love it.
Anyways, so about the song. So you guys need to know that I feel like every race or movement or culture, whatever it takes, a pace setter. And I would 100% say that Casey Taylor is our pace setter. That he is a true songwriter that loves the craft and he puts the work in. That every day it feels like he's writing a new song, and it makes me get myself into gear to want to write more songs. And so I just want to publicly say thanks. Thanks for that.
Thank you for saying that, guys.
So you wrote this song.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so thank you for saying that, seriously. So this song is a song that really came from, being in ministry, and these guys know there's a lot of things that you try to tackle. You try to love on your people well. You try, if we have families, you try to love your families well. And oftentimes, I got into a habit over a season of trying to make sure that I didn't skip reading, because I had been through a dry season of getting in and out of the rhythm of reading every day. And I got through this. I remember I hit this year mark where I had just read and spent time with the Lord every day. And then it hit me like, like reading has really been good for my soul, but there's so much a part of me that just wants to sit with Jesus sometimes. And being in ministry sometimes, we do a lot of things and we work for Jesus. You know, our hope is that we're doing it with the right heart. But devotionally, for myself, I remember sitting down with the Psalms through this project and coming across Psalm 27. And it says, if I can open this up, it's, you know, a lot of you guys might have heard the old praise and worship song. I can't even remember how it goes. It's something like, I want to dwell in your presence, right? But it's this part in this Psalm 27 that says, one thing have I asked of the Lord that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all of the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. And I just started thinking about how, man, that's really the fulfillment of all of this stuff. Like, that's really where I want to be, is someday, after all of the stuff that we've done, the life that I've lived, I just want to look at Jesus, and I just want to just take in his majesty. And rather than it being sort of a solemn declaration, I also have come to love declarative, really celebratory songs. And so my hope with this song was to be a declarative sort of like, one thing I'll ask, one thing I'll seek is to dwell with you eternally. And just for the church to have a song to celebrate and just to sing out that that's what we want. It's not about, you know, just coming here every week and singing songs about Jesus. It's that it's about him. It's about this communion. It's about looking at him and being with him. And so I just wanted to give a voice to that desire in hopes that maybe someone else would feel that and we could worship God together.
Awesome. Love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. While he's getting ready, we have some thank yous. First, the Academy. Thank them. It's a little Oscar joke. Yeah. Hold on, I wrote on my hand. The communications team, also known as Susan's Kids, they did all the artwork, and they made the words happen on the screen and all that stuff. They are awesome. They are the best in the biz, 100%. Audio, visual lighting, Rob's team, Douglas, Kevin. They make all of this look and sound great. And then, come on our hand. Will Hunt and Reese Murphy, they were our producers in the album. And so if you buy a CD or if you stream on Spotify, no judgment, either way, then you can hear these songs. And Will and Reese, it was their minds that helped these songs come to life. And so just awesome guys. And then, and we really want to thank Cody, our lead pastor, and Jerry, our elder of worship. They've really pushed this along, and they went to bat for us, and they encouraged us, and they challenged us, and so their fingerprints are all over this. And so, we are just really, really thankful for tonight and for you guys coming. And here is my song of my strength.
Salvation, whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I fear? My defender, he is my strength. Whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I fear? Troubles arise, I will not fall. I'll rest upon the rock, lifting my eyes up through it all. I will sing him the song. One thing that I ask, one thing I will seek, to Your face I'm searching for. Your face I'm searching for. So lead me onward and teach me your ways. My path will be secure. My path will be secure. When troubles arise, I will not fall. I'll rest upon the rock, lifting my eyes up through it all. I will sing him the song. One thing that I ask, one thing I will seek, to dwell with you eternally, to behold all you are, to behold majesty, to dwell with you eternally. He is my song and my strength, refuge for all of my days. So I'll sing as the battles are waged, for I don't have to be afraid. He is my song and my strength, yes, refuge for all of my days. So I'll sing as the battles are waged, for I know I don't have to be afraid. One thing that I ask, one thing I will seek, to dwell with you eternally, to behold all you are, to behold majesty, to dwell with you eternally. He is my song and my strength, refuge for all of my days. So I'll sing as the battles are waged, for I know I don't have to be afraid. Yes, I'll sing as the battles are waged, for I know I don't have to be afraid.
Well, there's Lift My Eyes. You've gotten behind the music, and thank you, guys, for sharing your heart and certainly being vulnerable. They've put in a lot of hard work to get to this point. Thank you, team, for playing, but the night is not over. As I told you, we're going to have a short intermission right now, and we're going to come back and sing some songs that will probably be a little bit more familiar to you. I hope these songs definitely become familiar to you as we begin to sing them as a congregation. But we're going to sing some things that are familiar to you and let you express your desire to the Lord and your heart for Him, to declare the things that Casey was just talking about as we lift our eyes together. So we're going to give you about 15 minutes to go out, and they have some stuff like hats, like Davis Dodd is repping over here, some hats, some shirts, some CDs. The guys brought me a CD because I still have a CD player, and but you can get it downloaded on Spotify and iTunes and all those kind of things. All of that stuff is out there. We have some snacks and things. So we're going to take a short intermission, and then we're going to come right back in here and pour our hearts out and lift our eyes to God. So take a quick break.
The only thing I found is through it all. And oh, when I reach out, you're always captured me again. Oh God, you steal my heart. And oh, when I reach out, you're always there. 'Cause love has come to rescue me. Your love has come to set me free. Your love, love is all I need. Your love, you've captured me again. Oh my God, you steal my heart. And oh, when I cry out, you're always there. 'Cause love has come to rescue me. Your love has come to set me free. Your love, love is all I need. Your love has come to rescue me. Your love has come to set me free. Your love, love is all I need. Your then when I'm lost in you, my head may spin around like the stars of the night sky do. Your love has come to rescue me. Your love has come to set me free. Your love, love is all I need. Your love has come to rescue me. Your love has come to set me free. Your love, love is all I need. Your love has come to rescue me. Your love has come to set me free. Your love, love is all I need. Your
Trouble won't throw me, won't break me, won't scare me no more. Fear must have thought I was faithless when it came from my heart. 'Cause I got a song that will never die. I know your love is the reason why. I'll sing the night into the morning. I'll sing the fear into your praise. I'll sing no silence to your presence. Whenever I say your name, let the devil know not today. Spirit of the living God, Spirit of the living God, we only want to hear your voice. We're hanging on every word. Spirit of the living God, Spirit of the living God, we want to know you more and more. We're hanging on every word. Come and speak to us, oh Lord. Spirit of the living God, Spirit
Chapel, let's sing of the great things that our God has done as we lift our voices together. King, come let us bow at his feet. He has done great things, it's true. See what our Savior has done. See how his love overcomes. He has done great things. He has done great things. Chain, oh God, you have done great things. We dance in your freedom, awake and alive. Oh Jesus, our Savior, your name lifted high, oh God, you have done great things. Come on. Faithful, you've been faithful through every storm. You'll be faithful forevermore. You have done great things, and you'll do it again. And I know you will do it again. For your promise is yes and amen. You will do great things. God, you do great things.
Celebrate who you are. Through every battle, through every heartbreak, through every circumstance. Sing, church. I believe that you are my fortress, and you are my portion. You are my hiding place. Oh, I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I believe through every blessing, through every promise, through every breath I take, oh Lord. I believe that you are provider, you are protector, you are the one I love, Lord. And I believe you are the way, the truth, the life, oh. And I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I believe you are, yes. We have a new reality in Jesus, and we're gonna sing. It's a new day. Yes. It's a new horizon, and I'm set on you. And you made me here today with mercies that are new. All my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because they can't stay long when I'm here with you. It's a new horizon, and I'm set on you, Lord. And you made me here today with mercies that are new. All my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because yeah, they can't stay long. And I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I believe you are the way, oh Lord, we believe the truth, the life. Oh, I believe you are. It's a new horizon, and I'm set on you. And you meet me here today with mercies that are new. All my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because they can't stay long. I believe you are the way, the truth, oh Lord, you are the light, oh. I believe you are the way, the truth, the life, oh Lord. I believe you are, yes. Lord, we worship, yes. Amen, amen.
Let the King of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. You are good. Good. Oh, you are good. Good. Oh, you are good. Good. Oh.
never gonna let me down. No, you won't. You're never gonna let me down.